you can only invite him to say his words of wisdom and disseminate what we need to hear. Karibu, Mr. President.
A brave new birth. A brave new birth. You know, all of you sitting here constitute the bravest, the brave new birth, because you've taken a very treacherous course of picking a bullet for the president. And if you pick a bullet for the president, then you are a hero. And I'm so happy to see all of you here. It takes a lot of courage. And I think the reason why all of you have been encouraging us to be here is because you've also seen the courage in me. When a similar question like the one that Fred has answered was put to me in the morning, I said, fine, I've dedicated my time, I've put money, I've put commitment, and I've also put my mind to it. What I'm asking you is just to dedicate a vote. Why is it that you're telling me I should wait for my name to be put on the ballot first? And in all fairness, why should we wait for anybody to put our name on the ballot? We are the ones who determine our leaders, isn't it? Because if you look at the structure of the law society, it has branches. And branches, the only organization that govern what we have here, I don't think that is the case, because even before these structures were put in place by the statute, we found everywhere there was a court, the lawyers organized themselves. And it's because of that organization that we have now what we call the National Law Society and the branches. But we should not have a law society which has taken it upon itself to make our life difficult. The law society is supposed to make our life easy. Has our life been easy? I think the testimony you've gotten from Ernest, testimony you've gotten from Winnie, one from Derek, from Simba, and Toto Simba. You know, there's a big difference between Simba and Umbwa. When is Simba, Toto Simba. What do You've seen the lamentation from Makasembo.
You do yourself.
And you see, those are brave lamentations.
You do yourself.
Because we cannot have a law society which can only speak on theoretical issues. A law society should be able to take care of the needs of all these people here. Because it is our function as the law society to ensure that we are empowered as lawyers. How do you empower lawyers? You just put money in their wallets. True or false? Is there any other way somebody can be empowered? Because with that money, you'll be able to advance your practice. With that money, you'll be able to dedicate more time, not only to your private practice, but for the benefit of the public. Tell me, if you have responsibilities of a personal nature, will you be able to dedicate time towards public litigation? It's not possible, isn't it? Now, I've time without number talked about individuals who have permeated the leadership of the society. They either do it directly or through proxies. When I was in Eldoret about 3 weeks ago doing door-to-door, and then we decided to stop somewhere and polish our shoes. So this shoeman was polishing our shoes and asking me, "You're running for the office of president." And I think Paul Mwende is the president of LSK. Then I told him, no. Paul Mwende was the president of LSK somewhere in 1992 when I was just joining Musingo. And that is the reality of the matter. Because we don't have anything against Simba. We don't have anything against Makasembo because they represent the history of what we have. But we need continuity. You saw him stand up and bless his son and say you've now gained the notoriety of sitting in the midst of people who can make decisions. But these certain individuals who control the law society do not want many of us here to be in a position to make decisions. And look, I think I will not be bragging if I say Havi is one of the biggest noisemakers in this country. True or false? But if one of the biggest noisemakers can receive this amount of resistance from a society in which he is a member, what about my friend Ndawode? What about my friend Tito here? What about my friend Winnie? No, we need to have a law society that will ensure that when work is being distributed in parastatals, state corporations, they make provision for all the requirements that are made in the Constitution. And the Constitution is quite clear. There must be provision for the young, there must be provision for the elderly, you must take into account regions and ethnicity. There can be no justification whatsoever why one law firm should have about 15 state corporations or boards as its clients, yet all of us here do not have any clients. Do you really think that is fair? Yeah. And that is what some of our friends who have taken the leadership of the society have been doing. If you have asked most of them, when was the last time you were in court? Maybe it was during the day of admission. They've never been in court. Do you understand? But you are the people who are in court daily. You are the people that take transactions to the land registry. You go to police stations either to bail out your clients or bail out your colleague. You understand? The other day, Cliff Ombeta was speaking here. Cliff Ombeta is not a small man. True or false? But if Cliff Ombeta had been incarcerated when he's gone to a police station to get out his client, then what will Mtoto Simba face? You understand? It is a big predicament. Now, it is you who take your transactions to be registered in the company registry. And you need a leader who has experienced the same problems like you. And Havi is one of that leader who has experienced these problems. And for as long as these cartels are there in the law society, take it to the bank. They will fix you either before the DCI, they'll fix you before the DPP, they'll fix you before the magistrate, they'll fix you before the High Court. When I was in Malindi, I had a very disturbing experience from a very fairly young advocate. She told me in the process of defending a client's cause, some 2 senior advocates, some 2 state counsel working in the DPP, and the magistrate made it very difficult for her to deal with that matter. And were it not for the intervention of a High Court judge, she would have been incarcerated. I think you know that young man. Unamjua? Msiseme jina yake. We don't want that. The reason why you went to school to study for a long period of time is because you have taken the vocation of serving the public. Let's serve the public. But in the process of serving the public, we need to restore integrity, accountability, and efficiency, not only within this profession, but also in the judiciary. Why do I say this? Because if you look at most of the leadership of state corporations, commissions and boards, don't they have advocates? The DPP is an advocate, isn't it? The CEO of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is an advocate. The Speaker of the National Assembly is an advocate. The Director of Public Prosecution is an advocate. The Chairman of the Independent Boundaries and Electoral Commission is an advocate. They are mined from this pool. Isn't that the case?
No, even the advice of the president in the election.
Exactly. Simba amesema ukweli. Those individuals who hold those offices that I've mentioned, have they met the criteria of accountability, integrity, and efficiency? I don't think so. You see, for as long as we have a deficient society, then the end pillars that determine what we do for a living will continue being inept, will be permeated by corruption, will be permeated by impunity, and will not go anywhere. As advocates, we may be forced to walk barefoot. Do we really want to walk barefoot?
Zero.
And that is the reason why we must have a brave new guard. And it's for that reason that age limit must fall. And if Ananda is with us here, if Uze is with us here,
I will be with you forever.
if Mama Sambo is with us if my schoolmate Aminga is with us
I'm
here,
30 years old.
then where is the credibility in the claim that the young lawyers want to take over? Do we really want to take over? No, we just want to serve, isn't it? Yeah, because it's not fair to allow a constabulary somebody who has retired from the army. Why do you need to saddle him with a rifle? He's been in the army from 2006. The last time he tried in a combat mission was in 2016, and he lost miserably. When is the 40? You understand? You see you. But not young. Somebody with proven ability. Yeah. Because Havi has the capacity of going to the office of the Chief Justice, going to the office of the presiding judge in Malindi, office of the presiding judge here in Mombasa, and demand to know why are the problems affecting people of this region not being attended to. I don't need an appointment. And let me give you some advice. Never seek an appointment to go to a public office. You don't need an appointment to go to the Chief Justice. You don't need an appointment to go and see a registrar. It is his or her responsibility to be in the office anytime you want. But I know. That's what I want to do. But if we don't have leaders with these capabilities, we will not find a solution to this problem. Now, sir, we don't want to prejudice what is happening in court because we are individuals from an honorable profession. It is our solemn prayer that our advocates will be able to surmount this surmountable hurdle in front of us and deliver a decision that is in our favor. But you see, if you go to war, you don't know if you'll come back. Who knows if you'll come back? Who knows about tomorrow? Yeah. And in fact, they should not tell us, look, Havi can wait until the other time. Who knows they will be there the other time? But in the unlikely event, the court says we should not be on the ballot. I don't want you to mourn. Just be happy. Understand? Because it is good. It is God who determines the best time. But either way, age limit must fall. I'll tell you why. Because in their response to my petition, that lady who calls herself the Chief Executive Officer of the LSK, who nobody ever elected, who has made it very difficult for you to receive communication from LSK, who are saying you will do an online application that will not take 5 minutes and will take 3 weeks, are saying the issue of age has never been brought before the annual general meeting of the society. I think we, the bravest of the brave bar here, have the capacity to move a motion. And this is my request to you. Okay, welcome Carol. One of the agenda that will put forth the annual general meeting is to pass a resolution to remove that limitation and say we will go as the majority of the membership to court, not as having. Now, sir, because we was running as a trial and error, I'm saying this time I will not waste my time the other time, but I will still be in the affairs of LSK and I will mentor people here to go and run again. Sawa? Ama mnataka nikuwa nifanye mchezo ya repeat classes? Amika atakwambia msiku we never repeat classes. Unaenda ndio hivyo. Sawa? And there are many young people here who are able to lead. Umeona Anastapa, umeona kiti mwenyewe. They can lead nani? Yeah, umeona Winnie. Nani mwingine? Iko pe 2/3 gender role. Hata kuna msimamizi wangu mkuu hapa anaitwa Anne Mnene. Hata ndio hapa hapo hivyo. Hao watu wanaweza lead. Sawa? But we must empower ourselves, because when you are empowered, you're able to deliver. You deliver not only for yourself, but for your generation to come. Havi is not fighting age limit just because he has stood on his way. I'm fighting that age limit because I can tell you without any fear of contradiction, I've battled these guys for some considerable period of time. At a very tender age of 5 years in practice, some international corporations had to debate whether to give the work to Havi, or to give it to a run-on company, or to give it Medicaid. And many decided to give that work to me. You understand? That's why some of these guys are not happy. When you are in poor president of LSK, tunasema wewe twende KCB tuangalie kazi imepatia nani. Unaelewa? Have you taken into account gender? There are many lady lawyers here. Have you given them work? The young lawyers here. Have you given them work? Why do we have a public interest litigation relating to LSK in which somebody has to be deputized from from Nairobi to come and do it in Mombasa or Malindi? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. So we percolate the legal services down to the bottom in the manner in which revolution was intended. Na mimi nimesema sitakuwa nakuja hapa only because I'm coming to look for votes. I will be coming here every time. And as and when we assume the leadership of the law society, will continue to empower Mombasa, because Mombasa is the entry gate to Kenya. Kweli ya uongo? Yeah. Kuna gari yenye mtu anaendesha kupitia Mombasa. Kuna mabati yenye mtu anatumia kupitia Mombasa. This is a big place, and this is home. So permit me to say for the last time, you are the bravest, the brave new bird. Brave new bird? Brave new bird? Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.